I will do anything legally to expose them, and I will not stop until they are exposed.
If you live in Southeast Texas, chances are you've heard about this guy, David Bello. He's run for Hardin County judge. He lost. And even though he's not a lawyer, he tried to run against the powerful Jefferson County DA Bob Wortham, accusing him during the campaign of corruption. He lost again. In other words, David Bello has made himself some powerful political enemies in those parts.
They do not want anybody out there, any news media, any source whatsoever, saying anything negative about them. They do not want the truth revealed.
He's also made the news for a different reason.
David Bello is being booked into jail as we speak.
Busted not once, not twice, but 3 different times by the Jefferson County DA. The local news even featured his mugshot.
Now, Bello has run for both Hardin County Judge and County Commissioner. Lumberton police arrested him tonight at his home in Lumberton. A judge set his bond at $5,000.
So let's dig a little deeper. Is this a case of Jefferson County justice, or is this just the way they try to shut up political troublemakers in Beaumont?
My end goal is to get the truth to the public about corruption.
The criminal trouble really started when Bello was going through a nasty divorce, a battle for custody of his son.
I sold my house. I went bankrupt. I spent every penny I had fighting for my son. That's really what I was fighting for.
Take a look at these court records, a search warrant filed in the Bello criminal stalking case, and this probable cause affidavit. They were both written by Marcelo Molfino. He's a criminal investigator for the DA's office. A much less kind portrait is painted by Bello's lawyer.
Marcelo Molfino has no business working in that DA's office or any DA's office or law enforcement anywhere.
Get this. Molfino helped engineer the prosecution of David Bello, but he was also on the payroll of Bello's wife.
Our team consists of very highly trained and accredited individuals who stand among the elite in their given professions and have obtained expert status in the various court systems in the United States.
Molfino's a manager of a company called Cell Forensics. He'd been paid $1,500 to help dig up dirt on David Bello. He admitted it under oath.
Did you make a bad decision, or is this just a decision that you continue to make?
He personally wrote the affidavit to have me charged and arrested for perjury.
After he had taken money from your ex-wife?
After he had taken thousands of dollars from my ex-wife.
And Bello's been trying ever since to get the DA's office exposed.
I want the facts shown, because anyone who sees the facts in this case are blown away.
Jefferson County employment rules say, quote, secondary employment is a privilege. But get this, there's nothing in Molfino's personnel files showing anyone ever gave written approval for what he was doing, why he was allowed to then go after Bello in his DA job after taking money from his ex-wife. But that's not the only thing missing from Molfino's personnel records. The DA knew David Bello had filed complaints on Molfino for his double dipping. The investigation, it's missing from his personnel file.
You think they've done this to other people?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not the only complaint we found during our investigation that accused Molfino of a clear conflict of interest. You won't find this one in his personnel file either.
I have never seen one man so involved in so many personal vendettas. He is the hitman for our local district attorney.
This is a long list of people who have paid him, which he turned around and used his power as a prosecutor, investigator, to charge people.
That's a pretty serious accusation, and so we wanted to talk to Mr. Molfino, or his boss, the DA. Even sent them letters. They ignored us.
Public service is a commitment.
We agree. And that's why, Mr. Wortham, well, you've got a lot of explaining to do. And if that gets me investigated, well, bring it on. All of the previous criminal charges against David Bello were dismissed, but it's the way the last charge got dismissed that screams for an outside investigation. Bello was accused this time of putting a tracker on his ex-wife's car. There were negotiations on a plea deal, but look at this text message from an assistant DA that was sent to Bello's lawyer. Quoting, Mr. Bello has purchased 2 web domains, bobwortham.com and marcelomolfino.com. Bob wants those given up. Bobwortham.com had given Mr. Bello an internet platform to cause more political trouble.
I was using that website to promote the issues of corruption within Bob Wortham's office.
Bello took the deal that would let him escape a conviction, but for a reason.
You went along with this thing to set him up.
To set them up.
That's why Bello wanted proof he was actually selling the web domain to the DA himself. The GoDaddy response, quoting, the buyer is familiar with the situation and is who you are requesting to purchase this domain. Today, bobwortham.com is no longer a political threat. It's not even being used. And the DA, well, he's silent on what really happened here.
It shows that this whole prosecution against me was for the purpose of quelching free speech.
It doesn't help Jefferson County that a special prosecutor was recently appointed for yet another criminal investigation of, guess who? David Bello. Bello wanted Tom Roebuck recused after he found out, and this letter from Roebuck to the judge reveals a bias that's hard to ignore. Quoting, Mr. Bello has a long history of attacking everyone who opposes him. He spews it daily. Sounds like a fan, doesn't he? And this was the guy that could get David Bello indicted again. Roebuck has since stepped down. But Bello now wants someone outside Jefferson County to stop the retaliation.
The very fact that they're going after people who use free speech to expose their corruption and trying to bury them, it's such a huge issue that people are shocked.
Former Judge Lane Walker once faced criminal prosecution himself in Jefferson County, and the list of politicians accused of wrongdoing, well, it's pretty long.
There has not been an office anywhere in this state that has been more abused going after their political enemies than this particular office.
Let your voice be heard. Let's all work together for a safe Jefferson County.
You cannot use the power of the district attorney's office to silence people.